17 August 2020, and today I want to take you through a letter, a very angry letter that was written by Catholic bishops, and it was aimed at Mnangagwa. This letter was written on the 14th of August by 7 bishops of the Zimbabwe Catholic Bishops' Conference, led by the Archbishop of Harare, Archbishop Robert Ndlovu. So this letter, to me, is very, very important because it puts all the problems of Zimbabwe at the doorstep of Mnangagwa, and it's done openly. And I'm going to give you a list of the key points, about 15 points. Then I'll summarize my thoughts on how effective this letter is. I want to start, though, by the reasons why I think this letter was written. Specifically, the bishops say in this letter that their attempts to engage with Mnangagwa have not been accepted. So I think they went to Mnangagwa, they tried to talk to him, but Mnangagwa's people refused to respond. And I've heard this complaint quite a lot of times, that when people go to Mnangagwa with a letter or with an approach to want to talk to him, they often don't get a response. They're not responded to. So let's go through the points, and then I'll give you my opinions at the end. So the first point was that there is a crisis in Zimbabwe, and refusal to listen by Mnangagwa has brought Zimbabwe to where it is today. Number 2, suppression of the people's anger can lead to a deeper crisis. There are unresolved past issues, such as Gukurahundi. Number 4, Mnangagwa has missed an opportunity presented by Cyril Ramaphosa's envoys when they came to Harare, and he refused to let them meet with civic organizations and opposition parties. The EU, UN, AU have voiced concern on Zimbabwe and about the crisis in Zimbabwe. Number 6, Mnangagwa is ruling through fear, and many activists are in jail or are on the run. Number 7, Mnangagwa and his government are engaging in catch and release when it comes to corruption. Number 8, Mnangagwa is no longer a servant leader. He says the right words, but does otherwise. Number 9, Mnangagwa wants to take Zimbabwe back to the mentality of the war, where it was them against us. Number 10, Mnangagwa has turned the military against the people. Number 11, the Global Compensation Agreement, which was signed with the farmers, excluded farm workers. Number 12, Mnangagwa is driving Zimbabwe in the direction of capitalism in the mistaken belief that it will bring benefits to ordinary people through the trickle-down effect. Number 13, Mnangagwa lacks the knowledge, skills, emotional stability, and social orientation to handle the problems facing Zimbabwe. Number 14, Mnangagwa is blaming foreigners, detractors, colonialism, settlers, and is not taking responsibility for the current crisis. And number 15, which is a very key point, Mnangagwa has shut the door on attempts to engage. So this is the key points in this letter. It was written by 7 bishops and was published on the 14th of August. And they then made proposals. And these proposals came from the 5th of August, where something called an Apex Council set. And they said there must be a victim-led process to resolve Gukurahundi. Number 2, there must be a broadly agreed reform process towards constitutionalism and the rule of law. Number 3, a new social contract as the basis for an inclusive national economic vision should be established. Number 4, an inclusive national economic vision must be established. Number 5, there should be mending of regional, continental, and global relations. The bishops then go on to say that these steps are further explained in the document, the Zimbabwe We Want, which they wrote back, I think it was in 2016. So this is basically what the bishops are saying. They're saying the problems that are in Zimbabwe are being caused by Mnangagwa's leadership skills, and they are very hard-hitting in this letter. They do not mince words at all. However, I think there are key weaknesses in this approach. Firstly, when a letter like this is written, automatically I think Mnangagwa is going to become defensive. He's not going to take it kindly that you wrote such a public letter about him, for example, saying you don't have the skills, the knowledge, or the ability to turn around the situation. So I think the first thing that is going to happen is Mnangagwa is going to dismiss this letter, which I think has already been done through a letter that was written to the pastors, back to the bishops, by the Minister of Information, Mnangagwa. So that needs to be resolved. I think letters like this, they need a certain type of language, and this is not the direction. I think something needs to be done. The bishops are obviously angry and frustrated that they were not able to talk to Mnangagwa, but there needs to be other approaches, and this means they need to try harder to talk to Mnangagwa directly. And I can see from this letter that they failed to talk to him. Mnangagwa did not respond. Then the purpose of this letter is not clear to me. Was the purpose to inform the public that Mnangagwa has failed, or was the purpose to put Mnangagwa in a corner? And then the audience, who is the audience of this letter? It was not clear to me. Was it for local? Was it for international? To inform the international community that there's a problem in Zimbabwe. Then number two, the actions to be taken out of this letter are not clear to me. The 5 proposals, to me, they almost look like processes. But who's going to lead those processes? How are those processes going to kick in? That is not clear to me. Also, they said that Mnangagwa is not listening. So the first thing they should have done is to make Mnangagwa listen. How then are they going to make Mnangagwa listen? Because the bishops have already injected themselves into this situation. So now they have to take the next step. How are they going to make Mnangagwa listen? Number 3, I want to go back to the tone of the letter. I think the tone of the letter is very confrontational. It will be difficult to talk after this. And I know people who know about facilitation, they know that if you take one side, you cannot successfully facilitate a crisis. And at the moment, they have identified that there's a crisis. So are they going to be the facilitator, or are they going to be one of the parties in the dispute? So it becomes very difficult at this point for the bishops to become effective as facilitators. So there obviously has to be a change, because already there's a dispute between Mnangagwa and the opposition. Now there's going to be a dispute between Mnangagwa and the bishops. So I see this as a good letter if it was being written by maybe an opposition party. But the fact that it's being written by the bishops makes the situation very, very difficult. So in conclusion, I would like to say the bishops, they don't need to stop here. I think they need to go back and try to engage with Mnangagwa, explain what this letter was all about, and try to kickstart this relationship, because the relationship has definitely been damaged. I've also seen that the Catholics lawyers representatives, they came out yesterday and issued another video statement. It's very difficult for me to understand what is happening, what is the strategy from the Catholics. But I think, in my own opinion, it is better for the bishops to go back to Mnangagwa and try to talk through him, because the bishops are not part of the dispute. They're supposed to facilitate the solution. So if I was them, I would make that attempt again to go back and say, we tried to talk to you and we could not get a hold of you. We want to continue the conversation and then take it from there. Right, so this is the letter and this is my opinion on it. I know many people don't read such letters, so I hope you benefited from me giving you a summary of this letter. I'm going to have this letter with me on my phone. If you want to read the letter itself, you can call me and I'll send it to you. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on WhatsApp, send it to as many people as possible. If you're watching this on YouTube and Facebook, please like, comment, and share.